Well, Duke Behnke, great to see you. And
Thank you.
We're talking a little bit about soccer here. How did you get involved in soccer? Where are you from
Well,
originally?
I'm a trucker. I'm from Clintonville, and when I was in high school and graduated in '82, there was no soccer, so I never had the opportunity to get really interested in it. But then I was an exchange student to Germany in '81, so I went over there and got introduced to soccer. And '81 was ramping up to the '82 World Cup, and so I kind of got an interest, and then I went back in college to study there. In 1985, again, right before World Cup. So everything is always ramping up toward these World Cups. And then I remember I also went to Germany in '90 when Germany won the World Cup, and so that was, by then I had just caught the fever. And when the '94 World Cup came here, I took Kaiser, my son. He was 3 at the time. We went to Soldier Field in the games, and it was 100 degrees, but one of the great memories.
So I don't need to ask you who your favorite world team is then.
You do not. It's Germany. Always has, always will be.
Yeah. So did you ever play soccer yourself, organized?
No. I mean, certainly would play with the kids in the backyard and such like that, and could demonstrate basic skills when I was teaching the younger kids, but by the time I got to be, the kids got advanced, I would have the kids themselves demonstrate those skills. So no, certainly pick up games and stuff like that, but nothing organized.
Okay, but your children played. You have 2 children. They
Yeah.
both played.
So my son is Kaiser. He started playing at 5, and that's kind of how I got into coaching, because I'm just one of those people who doesn't want to sit on the sideline. I always have to be somewhat involved, and Paper Valley Youth Soccer was looking for coaches, so I said, I'll do it. And they paired me with Mark Camerata, who had a soccer background, so it was a perfect pairing for me. Learned a lot from him, and then by the very next year, I said, well, I can head coach. So I took that and head coached all the way through for the next 20 years. And then when Vienna came along, Vienna's my daughter, she's 2 years younger than Kaiser. So in those early years with rec soccer, I was coaching both teams, which was a little balancing act, but it worked, and it was a lot of fun. So
you found a love for soccer right away, and
I did.
We're glad you did, because I know the teams that you coached also did very well.
Yeah, thank you.
But coming from a person that was used to basketball, football, American sports, how did you learn the skills to coach soccer?
I stole from other people.
Yeah.
So honestly, once I got into this, I went to every possible game I could. I would go watch Harry's teams, I would watch Mark Camerata's teams, Joe DeCource's teams, anybody I knew who looked like they knew what they were doing. I would just hang on the sidelines and take it all in, ask questions. I went to every clinic possible, whether it was taught by Chuck Cohen or, whoever was offering. Sometimes the club would bring in some English coaches at the time. I would stay late. I would just take it all in. I'd get on the internet and study it, and of course watch. One of the key things is watch soccer, watch other teams, watch professionals, and I just couldn't get enough. Because I didn't come from that background, so I had to make up ground. And even at tournaments, we'd go to tournaments, and everybody has their own idea what to do at a tournament. But after the games, a lot of the coaches and the parents, they'd just go to the hotel and relax at the pool and stuff, and I'd still be at the fields watching either our opponents or anybody else I could learn from, other NINA teams. I'd sit and watch them because, well, they're successful, they must be knowing, what can I learn from them?
So throughout your career, you probably spend more time watching soccer, learning soccer than people would do if they go for a 4th-year degree, if there was such a thing.
Yeah, I couldn't get enough. And it so happened that I live right by Memorial Park, so we have tournaments all the time, and even when my kids weren't playing in a tournament, you can just walk over and start watching soccer and learn from different teams, different coaches.
Mm-hmm. Well, the game needed people like you. We still need them. We wish we had more of them.
Yeah,
thanks very much for what you did for the game. You were a very successful youth coach. I know my granddaughter played for you. Mm-hmm. They also played in high school together. Have you ever thought of going to a higher level, like coaching high school or college?
I have. I mean, it crosses my mind really kind of anytime an opportunity opens up. But it doesn't always work with my job. So I'm a newspaper reporter, and you know, I'm on call a lot. If something happens, I have to just drop and go. So it's always a little bit difficult to make that work. Sometimes early on, when I was based in Neenah as a reporter, and then I could, you know, if I worked night meetings, I could get off a little bit earlier to get to practices and such, and it worked better. Now I'm based in Appleton, and and I have a different role, so it's just really, I think I'd have to choose one or the other. I don't think they both work.
You'd have to wait till retirement to do something like that. Yes.
So, I mean, it always, you know, it's in the back of my mind, I'm interested, but logistically, it just it doesn't seem to work.
Mm-hmm. Now your whole family was kind of involved in the game. Both your children play. Kathy must have been involved too. I know I've seen her at all the games.
Yeah, she's you know, really supportive. Yeah, soccer is, I mean, it is one of the threads of our family that keeps us together. Even to, you know, we get up Saturday morning, watch the Bundesliga.
Awesome.
You know, we watch the EPL. You know, Vienna's favorite team is Chelsea, so we're always following them. You know, midweek you got Champions League. You know, if I can get out of work a little early once in a while, try to catch those games. Yeah, even today, everything is that. You know, and Kaiser played. He ran cross country and such, and track in high school, but he's played all the way through college. I mean, he played intramurals in college, kept it up. Now he has a son, so I have a grandson, and I'm sure he'll be playing soccer as well.
Wonderful. You mentioned TV. You watch a lot of games of TV.
We do.
That certainly had improved a lot since the 80s when you first started getting involved. There was hardly any game on TV. You're a newspaper person. How about the involvement of the coverage of soccer in the news media, like especially in newspapers? I know your paper, we don't see much of soccer. The national one does, but it hasn't gotten the same coverage as the other major sports in America. And maybe we are not quite the major sport yet.
Right.
I'm sure we get there. What do you think of the future of soccer reporting?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, when I was in the 1980s trying to watch it, I mean, we'd get on network TV, you'd get the World Cup final. I remember watching that at home, you know, the 86 in Mexico, and we could watch that. But that was pretty much it. You know, then I think the coverage got, you know, a little bit better as far as newspapers. I thought coverage improved. We got more of that. I would try to write Neenah soccer stuff, paper, you know, flat grass stuff whenever I could. I kind of volunteered to get it in our paper. But, you know, our industry as a newspaper is struggling. We just, you know, there's cutbacks and such, so, you know, we're not even really covering the high school sports to the level we were. It's just a fact. I wish we were. I think everybody in our businesses wish we did that, but the finances just aren't there to do that. So I think that struggled a little bit. I mean, it does help that, you know, we do have a lot of social media, so you can get some of the coverage that way. And that kind of fills the void a little bit, but do I wish it was better? Absolutely. I'm not sure I have the answer how to sell our newspaper industry, but yeah, so I think the local coverage has suffered. Nationally, you know, for our paper is USA Today is the national coverage, and, you know, we still get some coverage there, but yeah, it doesn't rise to the level of NFL or NBA or baseball. It just doesn't yet.
How do you think the level of soccer we have today in the United States, like the MLS, will we ever catch up to the same level as the Bundesliga, EPL?
Good question. I don't know. You know, I'll watch the Bundesliga and watch the EPL, and then I'll come back and watch the MLS because I want to support them. And I mean, there is a noticeable difference.
And yet, the MLS is not really an all-American team.
No, I think on the best 11 just recently, I think there were 2 Americans on there, 2 out of the 11. So, yeah.
In previous professional leagues, they used to have a limit to the number of foreign players. They don't have that anymore now.
Right.
noticeably. Yeah, you said the 2 Americans on the team. But on the other hand, in England, in the EPL, you might only find 2 or 3 Englishmen
True,
on the team. Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But some leagues still, so you can talk to Vienna about this, but, you know, and for her Icelandic club team, you know, they're only allowed, I think, 3 non-European Union players.
Mhm.
So, you know, you can grab as many as you want European Union players, but Vienna's not part of the European Union, so she's one of those 3, not wild cards, but one of those 3 exemptions
Uh-huh.
when she plays with it, but she can explain it better than I can.
Yes, yeah, I look forward to talking with her because she is a professional soccer player
Yes,
in
yes.
Iceland. So, Duke, very nice talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep enjoying the game, and I'm glad that there's more people than watching the EPL and the Bundesliga on the Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I used to have to call home in the Netherlands. Did you see that? Did you see what do you think at
Right.
halftime? Today we can do it locally.
Yeah. Yeah, I love watching it, and you know, we're fortunate, I think, now to get that coverage. You know, every Saturday morning there's games on, and Sundays
Every day.
as well.
Almost every day.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Looking forward to that. Thanks very much.
You
Good talking to
bet. Thanks for having me.